He wakes up in the morning, picks up the newspaper, and then he's got Meghan pretending to be his mother again. It's honestly psychotic. It's twisted. It's just not normal.
Let's be honest. The Meghan Markle Harper's Bazaar piece didn't just drop, it detonated. It set off this huge cultural argument that somehow manages to be dramatic, ridiculous, psychologically weird, and also deeply entertaining all at the same time. It feels like we're all stuck in a real-life reboot of Keeping Up with the Windsors, and Meghan is out here rewriting the script every single week. The biggest headline? Meghan Markle is cosplaying Princess Diana again. And this isn't just a little fashion coincidence. The commentators are treating it like a full-blown psychological thriller.
It's actually so freakish and disturbing now that we have to talk about it. Meghan Markle's cosplaying of the late Princess Diana in Harper's Bazaar has caused international derision, actually, because this is no longer deniable. As the controversial Milo put it, the creepiest, most sinister, most wretched person on the face of the earth. And our very own, according to Taz, oh lordy, how can people not see that she cosplays Diana? It's beyond creepy. But Tash is with me, and this has divided attention, actually. But Tash is with me on the fact that actually Harper's Bazaar were not doing a good job for Ms. Markle. She said, yeah, they did her dirty. I can only presume she must have upset someone at that magazine. She doesn't look edgy. She looks awful. She can really look beautiful, but this ain't it. I'm not reading the article. I'd honestly rather have a root canal. And according to Taz, Tasha Canal joins me now. Tash, I mean, the Diana thing now is actually psychologically troubling. This is a very, very sick woman. I think Harper's Bazaar need to take a good hard look at themselves for agreeing to go along with this. And it's like the fact that Prince Harry can't see what she's doing because, of course, it's in the same week that she's cosplaying Diana over the fact that she now has a sidekick in her life. It's like, come on, Tash.
Yeah, you caught that as well, Dan. Yeah, the psychic. Of course, she's got a psychic because Diana, it was reported that she relied on psychics. It was the same as when Meghan put her hands to Diana's tombstone, didn't she? And she was channeling her and she asked Diana for guidance and all of that stuff. I mean, there's definitely psychological issues at this point. I think anybody looking at it, you cannot deny what she's doing. Now, I believe with the fashion shoot, I believe that Meghan likes to direct everything. If we remember with the Edward Enninful fallout, apparently her list of demands, everything she wanted was so big they wouldn't even have given that to Beyonce. I think Meghan directs herself. She tells them the looks she wants to do, the positions she wants to do, because she does a lot of the stuff that we've seen her do in previous years. And she copies. She has no original thoughts. So I don't know if they would have recognized something as similar with Diana with that, or whether they went along with it because obviously it gets everybody talking about the article. And it is pathological at this point. It's so unsettling to see. Harry obviously seems to get a kick out of it. That's something that he needs to talk to his therapist about. But I can't imagine what it's like for Prince William, seeing this woman that caused so much heartache and stress to his elderly and ailing grandparents, to his wife with her lies, and then she pops up all of the time. He wakes up in the morning, picks up the newspaper, and then he's got Meghan pretending to be his mother again. It's honestly psychotic. It's twisted. It's just not normal. And I can't see.
Totally right. And Tash, you and the Royal Grift have also picked up another lie in this interview. She's so shameless. This time in regards to her 1992 LA riot story. So the Royal Grift wrote, Harper's Bazaar pushing new lies for this grifter. What version rebrand are we on now? And you replied, Tash, saying Meghan never saw the LA riots. The dates of that TV advert don't add up to when the riots happened. Plus, Thomas Markle told everyone he took her out of town so she wouldn't see anything. Every time she tells the story, she adds more and more details. She's a pathological liar. But again, it was shocking, I think, Tash, that this wasn't fact-checked by Harper's Bazaar, who should know better.
Dan Wootton, Tasha, Taz, Milo Yiannopoulos, basically every royal critic alive, all came together like the Avengers, but instead of saving humanity, they united to roast Meghan's Harper's Bazaar shoot. Their argument is basically, how many times is Meghan going to morph herself into Diana before someone says, okay, this is not normal? Finally, you get this giant contrast at the end.
It's everybody that's run this story. It's everybody that's ever run Meghan embellishing this story to do with the LA riots. It was Tom Bower that said about Thomas Markle. We know Tom Bower does all of his research. Thomas Markle, I'm pretty certain, has backed that up, saying that he protected Meghan and he took her away from it so she wasn't affected by it and didn't see anything by it. But where I say the dates do not add up, the LA riots were at the end of April in 1992. That advert for Ivory Clear washing up liquid, Dan, didn't come out until October 1992. Meghan didn't appear on Nickelodeon News with the whole letter thing, pretending that she changed the world all by herself, until 1993. The riots were in April, and that advert, as I said, didn't air until the October. And again, everything to do with that entire thing is a lie. And Meghan also, the reason why she got so upset about it, because she said, I remember watching the commercial myself, well, the Nickelodeon News, Meghan got upset because she said, mums are always painted that they do everything and it's not just mums. Well, why did an 11-year-old Meghan feel that passionate? Well, it's because her father was raising her as a single parent at the time, because Doria was, well, Lord knows where, really. And that's why Meghan was, defensive of it. And she seems to forget that everything from her childhood, all of the privileges that Thomas Markle gave her, she's just completely written him off. So it's just a reminder that she lies about absolutely everything. And each time she tells this LA riot story, it's becoming more and more theatrical.
Yeah, totally. We got a news story, Tash, though, over the TV show Studs. Now, I don't know if you remember this. It was very big in the early 90s, between like 91 to 93. And in the article, and Harper's Bazaar have loved this so much, they've actually done a breakaway online story about it where they say Duchess Meghan. God, they speak like Omen Scobie, don't they? It makes me sick. Duchess Meghan reveals she used to play a version of this 90s dating show as a kid. And they say it's a skill she's honed since childhood. I was such a little nerd, she says. My entire identity was wrapped up in being the smart one. She has said that numerous times before. This is new, though. There used to be this show. I'm dating myself, but do you remember Studs? This is where I am reminded that Meghan, like me, and this is the writer speaking, is an elder millennial, born in 1981. We are a maligned bunch, hated by our elders for our generational insistence on authenticity and social justice, derided by those younger for our earnest belief that the world is capable of change, what Gen Z has labelled cringe. Studs is an elder millennial touchpoint, a dating game show that aired on Fox in the early 90s. I distinctly remember my mom and her friends hating it because of how often the contestant used the words buns. After school, and this is Meghan now talking, kids would enact a little makeshift version of Studs to play. They were like, well, Meghan can be the host. I have the personality type of I can help coordinate, I can help organize, and I can facilitate. I think I'm probably the same now. This was weird, Tash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you've only got to look at that footage that was released, wasn't it? It was another little girl's birthday party when Meghan was about, I don't know, about 8 years old, and she was marching around with the crown on her head, telling people what to do. She was a precocious, bossy child. She had a father that never told her no, much like, I guess, Harry. And this is, again, I think this is a great lesson for parents when they're doing that really super soft parenting and they don't teach their children the word no. And, if you make decisions, there are repercussions, and I think this is what it turns out psychologically when you become an adult. But yeah, Meghan's really never gotten rid of that bossiness. I'm certain she probably did play those games, but I'm 99% certain Meghan would have said, I'm the hostess, we're playing this, you're doing that, because we see this in her behavior even now, and all of the ex-employees, the revolving door, Lord knows how many of them there are now, Dan, they've said exactly the same. She just marches around and dictates and shouts at people. So it's nothing to do with being smart. It's just being a bully.
Totally, and there's nothing smart, Tash. I mean, the quotes that Harper's Bazaar like pulled out as like these are the moments that we learn how Meghan is now making her mark. To me, they made no sense. But let me just run you through them. There's no such thing as perfect. I too get to make mistakes. There's also not a lot of fun in trying to be perfect. So why try to do that if you want to have fun? That was the first. The second, I think the moment that you start making all of your personal decisions based on eternal judgment, then you lose your authenticity. And then you find different ways to protect yourself, whether that's self-preservation or it's just growing up. I mean, were you on board with any of those moments, Tash?
Meghan being announced as a Duchess of Sussex in someone's hallway. Meghan delivering philosophical fridge magnet monologues. Meghan directing photo shoots. Meghan comparing herself to Diana again. Meanwhile, Prince William is hugging grieving widows, breaking down discussing suicide, and opening medical centers named after national heroes.
I haven't read the entire article because, as I said, I refuse to just put myself through it anymore. I have seen a few of these excerpts, though, and they're a bit long to go on your fridge magnets, aren't they? It's just whimsical nonsense. It's whimsical nonsense. It's absolute word salad. It doesn't really make sense. Meghan she just talks and talks and talks. She likes the sound of her own voice. And then eventually she jumbles enough words together. And it's like that should be a game show, really. What do you think Meghan is trying to say at the moment? She just pulls together all of these nonsense words, jumbles them together, and it's like, yes, yes, you can have that printed on a t-shirt. It's just doesn't she doesn't make sense.
Tash, I did very much enjoy the analysis by my friends Meghan Kelly and Link
Oh,
Lauren of this
they're
interview.
brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah, I want to play you a little bit and I'll get your reaction to the back.
When she comes to New York, she can't just get a room at the Plaza or the Ritz.
Like the Hyatt.
She's right. She's got to stay in a friend's brownstone because you see, Link, she's too famous. She's too
Right.
famous to walk through a lobby. Unlike every other actual celebrity in the world who stay in hotels just fine, including Taylor Swift, with no problem in very many cities, much less a place like New York, which is very used to A-listers, which she is not. Okay. The writer writes as follows, quote, "When I enter this brownstone, the house manager announces, 'Meghan, Duchess of Sussex,' even though we appear to be the only other two people in the house." And then and that harkens back to what we read on page 1, where she said they were outside the Natural History Museum in Los Angeles to receive a local group of girls. And as the golf cart pulled up, they yelled out, "The Duchess of Sussex." And she appears to have people yell this about her wherever she goes, even if there's no one else in the
my
home,
God.
Link.
It's like Colonel Sanders is here. Like, why does she need to be announced like that? Like, the Duchess of Sussex? Who is that? Who is she? We don't have titles here. Like, when she walks into Soho House, is she like the Duchess of Soho House? We don't do titles here in the United States. But I don't think she was alone in the brownstone. I think all of her other personalities were in the house with her. So maybe they have to announce Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is here. But I've never seen someone dine out so hard on their title. I mean, she is dining out. And like, I have friends, they get divorced and they hang on to the last name because maybe the last name was better than the one they had, or they were married to a prominent guy, so they cling to that last name in society. And it's like, Meghan is clinging hard to this Duchess title. She was in the royal family for 18 months. I have stuff in my freezer that's been there 18 years. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, I was in the royal family 18 months and she's calling herself the Duchess of Sussex. She spent 5 hours in Sussex. Okay, that's
And
it.
they hate the royal family. They hate everything it stands for.
Tash, I thought that was great. Actually, I especially loved Lauren saying, "Oh, it must have been all of her personalities in the room."
Yeah.
But it was a truly astonishing revelation. There were a few that came from this article, but truly astonishing, Tash, that there she is at Misha Nunu's house and the journalist enters and the staff member who doesn't even work for Meghan announces her as the Duchess of Sussex. What did you make of it?
Unbelievable level of pretentiousness. I mean, it's honestly shocking, but at the same time, I'm quite surprised that this Caitlin, the writer, was allowed to put that in, because this has now opened up Meghan to again global well, what do we call it? It's not really humiliation, but everybody's talking about that because it's just, you've got to laugh at her. This is a woman that went on Oprah and said she wanted her privacy and, you know, everything that the royal family did to her, and she's been announced. But I think that she told that member of staff to do it. I think she gave her orders, and I think there was some confusion. I think that she turned around and said, you know, when this person arrives, I want you to say, you know, that my name, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, meaning when Meghan is walking into the room. Or maybe, you know, he just got confused and she was meant to announce, you know, Caitlyn's name. Either way, it's pretentious nonsense. Like Link said, they don't have titles in America. But she is doing this to elevate herself. She's doing this for the prestige. She is using those titles in ways I couldn't imagine. Catherine, William, even Sophie. Even Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, there's no way that they would go and meet people in, you know, I'd imagine even a lot of formal instances, you know, and they would have announcements like that. It's completely bizarre. It's comical.
It is. There was another big moment in the interview, though, as well. This is how it was headlined. Meghan Markle drops rare confession about marriage to Prince Harry. He loves me so boldly, so fully. I'm just going to read you the little extract from the article, and then, Tash, we both noticed the same thing here. See if you also notice it. Her circle of trust is tight. She puts her hand on her heart when she talks about her husband. He loves me so boldly. And he also has a different perspective because he sees media that I wouldn't, she says. No one in the world loves me more than him, so I know he's always going to make sure that he has my back. With Harry, Meghan explains, you have someone who just has this childlike wonder and playfulness. I was so drawn to that, and he brought that out in me. That's translated into every part of our life. Even in business, I want us to play and have fun and explore and be creative. So, Tash, we both noticed the fact that in yet another public pronouncement of their relationship, Meghan isn't saying one thing about how much she loves Harry, because I don't think she does love him. It's all about his love of her and what the relationship means for her business enterprise.
It's almost unfair to compare them. The vibes are so dramatically different that they feel like characters from entirely separate genres. William looks grounded, human, and emotionally vulnerable. Meghan looks like she's trying to be a character in a prestige drama. And that's where critics land their final blow. Meghan keeps performing. William keeps showing up. The Harper's Bazaar piece wasn't just another celebrity profile. It was a cultural Rorschach test. You either see Meghan as inspiring, misunderstood, and stylish, or you see her as calculating, theatrical, and delusional. But in the public arena, critics are circling. Commentators are explaining. And the internet is laughing. Even for Meghan, queen of reinvention, this may be the first time a rebrand has truly spiraled into full-scale chaos. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.